Keith Huckfield here with Mark Dempsey, North Swindon candidate for Labour for the general election 2017. Thanks for joining me, Mark. So, for people who don't know you, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm a local candidate. I live in North Swindon, up in St Andrews Ridge. I'm a local councillor for Penhill and Upper Stratton, and I also work as a sustainability manager. That's my profession because I think it's really important that we try and build a better future, and the environment is something that I'm very passionate about.
So, you mentioned a bit about being a local councillor. What has sort of prompted you to step into the electoral candidacy for North Swindon for the for parliamentary position?
Yeah, well, I was a candidate back in 2015, and I guess from my perspective, I just think Swindon could be better than this, and it's something that I've pushed for in terms of some of the big issues and challenges that we face in regenerating our town centre, in trying to unlock opportunity for our young people through better schools and a university for Swindon, and really trying to build a better future in terms of some of the services that we have. We're seeing a real impact from 7 years of Conservative government. The NHS is in crisis. Our Great Western Hospital has had 3 red alerts during the winter period. And our schools are really struggling. We've got 50% of our secondary schools that are not meeting the required standards. So for those reasons, I think it's really important that we get a Labour government for Swindon, and that's why I'd like to be the MP for North Swindon.
And you've talked about it a little bit, but what specific will be your specific focus when you get in to be the MP for Swindon?
Yeah, well, I think that health is vitally important, and we've seen real problems in our NHS. Labour were the party that built our Great Western Hospital. We got the greatest ever satisfaction rating in the NHS. We cut waiting lists, and I think it's up to Labour to save the NHS again. And so the £7 billion that Labour are going to put into the National Health Service, I think, could make a tremendous difference here in Swindon, so that we can get waiting lists back down again, and that we can start to rebuild the NHS for the future. And I think similarly for our schools, I think it's vitally important. We're stood right next to Oakhurst School. With the Conservatives' current spending plans, it's set to lose £115,000 a year across Swindon, £11 million worth of cuts to our education system across Swindon. That's the equivalent of 316 teachers. And that's why Labour's £6 billion worth of extra investment, I think, would have a significant benefit here. It means we can cut class sizes for 5, 6 and 7-year-olds to below 30 and start to rebuild our education system so that we can unlock opportunity for our young people.
I mean, you mentioned it a little bit as well, but obviously the Tory manifesto launched this week. They want to take money out of social care, take school dinners away from children, and yet Labour have been criticised for how they're going to fund things. I mean, for people who don't know, what are the ways they're going to do that?
Yeah, I think this is the big difference actually between Labour and the Conservatives, which is that all of our plans are fully costed, and you can go online, you can have a look and see exactly where the money is going to come from in order to fund the promises that we've made. And we've promised by taking a little bit of money from corporation tax and a little bit of money from those that are earning more than £80,000 a year, we can fund the promises that we've made so that we can have a better education system and a better health service. And I think those things are really important. What also people need to be aware of is that the Conservatives have cut spending in Swindon, cut investment to Swindon by over £20 million since 2013. And yet we've seen our council tax go up in Swindon by the greatest amount across the country. So people are getting less, but they're paying a lot more. And people are seeing as a result of that, their libraries are being cut, their Sure Start centres have closed. And I think that's having a big impact on the town. We've got to get Swindon moving forward. We've got to get investment into Swindon so that we can start to build the infrastructure that this town needs, including things like the Northern Link Road, including things like a university for Swindon, and regenerating our town centre so that we can build a better future for our town.
And finally, where can people find you? Obviously, you're out on the campaign trail at the moment, but online, etc., where can people find you?
Yep, so they can go onto my website, which is markdempsey.org.uk, and find out all about me. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, but we're also out and about every single day at the moment, knocking on doors, meeting people and talking to people. And there are also a set of hustings meetings. People can come along to those and contribute to the debate. And we're really enjoying the campaign.
Brilliant. Thanks, Mark, and good luck.